It's
It's
our
our
anniversary.
anniversary.
Hey.
Oh,
You have to be able to, in that moment, suppress the thought of, oh my God, because I had it. When I
yeah.
saw that gun up to the window on my glass like this, I was like, and it was like, calm down. I always tell my students to calm down, get over it, and be prepared for action. So I just like cut it off and get ready. Whatever's going to happen, all I know is I'm going home to my wife for 30 years.
Hello. Welcome to the Vendmae podcast. My name is Morgan, for those who do not know, and I am your host for today's interview. Vendmae is where we connect with the brand builders to discuss areas of expertise. Building a brand or a business is far from easy, we know, and your business is you. You are your business. And here is where we have entrepreneurs that are not only thriving, but can give insight and drop necessary gems to help you grow your business so that you can thrive in your entrepreneurial journey. So today I have Israel, who is the CEO and founder of Conscious Tactical. And today he is going to be talking to us about safety in our businesses, mainly firearm safety. So without further ado, welcome, Israel.
Hello. How are you doing, Morgan?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, doing well. Doing
Good.
well.
How's your day been? How's your day been so far?
Busy, but I had to make it my business to be here tonight. So ready to get busy.
Well, we thank you for that. Now, before we start,
Mm-hmm.
we are going to play a game just as our icebreaker. And
Okay.
so this is a music game, right? I'm going to do it a bit different for you.
No.
So I have three artists, and I'm going to say who they are. And you are going to say the first song that comes to your head. Now, you
Okay.
can either rap it, sing it, hum it, beatbox it, whatever you want, right?
Oh, what
But
about
you
a
got,
combination of all?
you can do combination. You can do a combination of it all. Now, listen,
Okay.
I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
Okay.
5. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. Your first artist is going to be Tony.
Oh, that's easy. I'm see if I can hit this note. Do you know what today is? It's our
anniversary.
Hey.
Oh. All right. You got point 1.
All
Next
right.
artist is going to be Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls. Let me see.
Mhm.
Doom, da doom, da doom, da doom, da doom. Get money. Get money. You wanna sit more on my living room floor, play Nintendo with
Hey.
season Lee. Oh, pick up the phone.
Hey.
I never stop.
We
That's my
thank you for
jam.
the and we thank you for the G-rated version. We appreciate
Yes,
that.
absolutely. Absolutely. Don't want no
Last
smoke.
one. Last one. It's tricky. I've never done this before. All right. Where are you from? Are you from the DMV area?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Iverson Mall, 23rd Parkway's finest. All day, all night.
Do you or are you familiar with Backyard Band?
Yes.
All right. Backyard. What's the song?
Hello. It's me.
Hey.
I've been wondering something and I can see. Oh, yeah, I mean,
Honestly, Backyard is my favorite band.
yes, they be cranking.
Backyard is my favorite band. Well,
They be
listen,
cranking.
you got 3 out of 3. You won.
Yes, sir. I'm
You
not a
won.
loser. That's right.
Yes. All right. Now, this is the part that is very important. This is one of the most important parts. I
Okay.
want you to just give us a brief overview of who Conscious Tactical is.
Sure. Conscious Tactical is a firearms academy, if you will. We've been in business for going on 3 years. We teach everything from firearm safety, home safety, castle doctrine, what you can do in your house, and self-defense. How to defend yourself from others if you ever approach with some type of threat. That's basically the low run over of what we do.
Okay.
Train you. We can help you get your license.
Oh.
DC, Maryland, Virginia, wherever,
Okay.
non-residents, to be able to carry your gun in 37 other states. We do everything,
Wow.
literally.
Pretty big.
Yeah,
Pretty important too. Which is the
executive protection
reason.
too. I forgot
Oh,
that one.
they just keep
Executive
listening.
protection.
It just keeps
Yeah.
going. It just keeps
All
going
right, I'm
and
gonna stop. I'm
going
gonna
and
stop. I'm gonna
going.
stop. I'm
No,
gonna
but that's
stop.
good. No, but
Yeah.
that's good because especially because of who Vendmae is and what we do. Of course,
Yeah.
a lot of it is connecting entrepreneurs with vending opportunities. But the entrepreneur again is their business. The business is them, and a part of that is also being able to protect their business, right?
Yep. Hmm.
And so that's why you're here is to speak to the importance of being able to protect your business while
Absolutely.
keeping you safe as well. We just thought this would be really good information for those who are either thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, those who are probably already seasoned entrepreneurs, and just need a little bit more information on safety when it comes to their business and what that looks like. So I
Okay.
want to go ahead and just start asking you some questions
Sure.
in regards to that, just to provide our viewers with more information. So, my first question is going to be how important is firearm safety to business owners?
How important is firearm safety to business owners? I would say that it's paramount, and
Mm,
I say that because we train that we we deal with aggression from somebody who wants to do us harm at a level up. Meaning, if somebody
mm,
comes at us with a knife, I'm not going to go grab a knife, get into a knife fight. I'm going to grab my firearm, unfortunately, and hopefully we can de-escalate the situation, not have to use it. But this is just a climate that we're in today. So I would say that firearm safety and firearms, knowing how to use them in general for business owners should be, if you're ready to do it, something that business owners should consider.
okay. Now, as a gun safety instructor,
Hmm.
what is the first question that you would ask a business owner when they express their desire to have their license?
So the first question I would ask them is real simple. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Is this something that you really want to do? So
Mm,
it's like one question with different levels to it. Like,
yeah.
why do you want to do it? Is there a threat that someone came into your facility, don't agree with your services, might want to fight you, raise some type of
Mm,
ruckus or something like that,
mm,
and you feel like
mm,
you need a firearm? Because it's our job to make
mm,
sure that business owners and just regular people in general are prepared to know what world they're
mm.
getting into as it pertains to firearms.
Okay. Now, how can you tell as the instructor, right? And this is your profession. How can you tell if someone is not ready to own a firearm?
That's a funny
what are
question
some
because
what are some ways, like what are some characteristics that you're actually looking for that kind of gives you the red flag, like, you know what? Not ready yet.
so when I say not ready, it's that they have a goal to
Mm,
actually take someone's life. If that's your goal, I won't pass you. Meaning,
mm,
like, let me get this gun because next time I've actually seen people, my clients say this phrase, next time I see them, it's on site.
mm,
I'll be like, whoa. So that's telling me I help you get your license. You go through Maryland State Police or wherever it is you get your license at. And as soon as you see that person, you're the first thing you're going to do is grab your firearm and get to work. And we can't pass those type of people. This
yeah.
particular lifestyle that we're in is simply just to protect ourselves. And at the end of the day, we just pray that everything goes well and that we come back home to our families or, safely regardless.
Yeah.
So it's all
N-
about that. We can tell their mentality as they're speaking. Now we do have people that say they want to guard themselves from an abusive husband, abusive wife.
mhm, mhm,
So we have to take things into consideration. We do a little bit of
mhm,
research and see what the phone call looked like, etc.
mhm,
And then we'll make
mhm.
a decision how we move forward with that.
Now, for those people, are you doing any background checks at all? Or is it just a matter of just kind of practicing that discernment and kind of just judging it based on like their demeanor, their behavior, whatever the case may be?
No, so we do not do any background checks before
Okay.
anyone. We don't specifically
Okay.
before any student gets their license, they will have to have their background check through Maryland State Police,
Gotcha.
CJIS, FBI, and all those type of entities that take care of that. So we don't
Okay.
specifically. All we do is provide the training so that
Hmm.
we can let Maryland State Police know that they have the mental fortitude to be able to carry a gun safely in the
Okay.
state of Maryland.
Now, my last question in regards to that is there ever a time where you might realize that someone's not ready at that moment, and you kind of just tell them, hey, like, maybe in another 6 months we can revisit this conversation. But through you and your brand and your business, you're not going to do it. Now, if they go somewhere else, that's
Right.
their decision. But is there ever a time where you're just like, you know what, I'll give you some time. Maybe 6 months from now we can try again.
Literally, I've literally said that phrase.
Okay.
We have face to face conversations or either on
Mm-hmm.
Zoom or FaceTime, whatever the case may be, or in person. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
let he or she know, in with respect that
Yeah.
your headspace right now is not clear from the
Mm-hmm.
story that you told me why you want to carry a gun. That's always the first question I ask them. Why do
Yeah.
you want to carry a gun? And once you
Mm-hmm.
let me know why, we can kind of tell if it's genuine or if you have some type of hidden agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we have to answer to Maryland State Police
Yeah.
as we are bringing these people to them to be able to carry in the state. So we take our job very seriously as it when it comes to figuring out kind of discerning, for lack of better words, what's really
Yeah.
going on in the person's head mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for a business owner that might not be comfortable with owning a firearm,
hmm
whether it might be at that moment or just in general, what are some other legal ways that they can protect themselves physically? I know that there's other, you know, I guess weapons, and you can change the phrase of how I said it, but other weapons that are there to help protect.
Yeah.
But what are some other legal ways that they can protect their businesses too and
Well,
themselves?
okay, so like I mentioned, we talked about self defense classes. We do
Oh.
self defense where it's like no weapons. It's just
Hmm.
if you put a if you put a firearm in my face, I
Hmm.
I don't mean to start it. This is what I do. If somebody points a firearm at you, we
Yeah.
teach how to disarm that person, take the gun out of their hand, and
Yeah.
then how to rack the chamber and point it at them and just ask
Mm.
very, please, I need you to back up, stay away, things like that.
Mm.
We teach that.
Mm.
Empty hand skills are very important because
Hmm.
even though I carry every day, somebody might run up on me with a gun in my face if I'm not watching my
Mm.
six, as we call it. And I need to
Mm.
be prepared to get that gun out of my face. I'm either
Yeah.
going to comply or at the end of the day, if I feel like you're going to take my life, now it's time to fight. One of our
Yeah.
mantras is fight like no one is coming to save you.
Mm.
Yeah, and people, when they
Mm.
hear that, they think like, you're right. I have to fight like
Yeah.
no one's around for my
And that
life.
means like even when you're like tired, you gotta pull
Yes.
the energy from
Yes. Get that
your
adrenaline
pinky
pumping, man.
toes.
I know
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
Do whatever you got
yeah,
to do to go home, man.
yeah.
Yep.
So what does that look like in terms of just like, okay, well, I don't want to own a firearm, but what if this person's bigger than me? What if there's multiple people and I don't have anything on me? Like for me, I mean, I'm not small, but if there's a bunch of people around me or even someone that's bigger than me, I don't really have confidence right now in these that
Right.
I'm able to protect myself. And so imagine, you know, having a business and you got things in your hand or you're carrying something, whatever the case may be. Like, what should we look for? Like, what does awareness look like?
Awareness literally looks like I trust no one.
Mm.
That's what it looks like. You come in my store, you come into my place of business, I'm going to greet you professionally. I'm going to treat you like an angel, but I don't trust you because I don't know you. I've
Hmm.
seen people put trust in people, like store owners or business
Yeah.
owners put trust in people. Next thing you know, they breaking a glass in the jury case with a gun in their face, asking for money and the key to the safe and all this other stuff. So literally, trust no one. Watch everybody, like everybody. When I go
Okay.
to a restaurant, my family knows where I'm sitting. I'm sitting to where I can watch the door, and I'm literally
Hmm.
sitting there watching everybody come in. And I'm judging them. I don't want to. You look like a thug.
so so technically awareness doesn't look like you can't really be relaxed, I'm guessing, especially in business. Like when it comes to protecting
Yeah.
your business, protecting yourself, you can't really afford to be relaxed. You have to always, I'm guessing, be on guard.
Yes. So it's always professional, number one,
Okay.
and while being 100% professional, making sure that you always watching your six, watching people's body
Mm.
movements. And here's a little tip: start to watch people's waistline. Just watch their waistline peripherally. Look at them like I can see you, but I'm watching your waistline because that's where the attack comes from. They're reaching down to
Mm.
pull a knife out, or they're reaching down to grab a gun. So people
Mm.
don't really pay attention to that. Watch their waistline.
Hmm.
It might
I
not
have a
make sense
question.
now. It might not
But
make
see,
sense now.
now I'm subconsciously just gonna be looking at people's ways. What you got? Now I have a question.
Sure.
Now, when you say watch your six,
Hmm.
what does that mean? For those of
That
us who don't know.
so if I'm facing you, this is 12 o'clock. It's basically saying watch your back. 6 o'clock would
Watch
be
my back.
backwards. Yep. Watch
Okay.
your back. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Watch your
That's
back.
a lot to turn
And let
on.
me, yeah, that too. So so we do have things that we call LTLs. That's less than lethal, like palm spray, which is pepper spray. POM
Okay.
spray. You can get that off of Amazon legally. Carry it around on you, and it will stop a
Okay.
bear in its tracks. It could shoot up to
Mm-hmm.
25 feet. So let's say you have a
Mm-hmm.
gang of people around you, like you mentioned earlier. You could take
Mm-hmm.
out that palm spray and just do a Wonder Woman turn, and they ain't gonna like it.
I guess you're not gonna like it either because I'm pretty sure you're gonna catch wind of it. But at the end of the day, it's about safety.
Yep.
I'm gonna find some type of way to get away, and ultimately, I'm
Yes.
just trying to do what it is that I need to do, like you said, to get home to my
Yep.
family. Right?
Literally.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we have people like yourself, and I'm pretty sure um while your business is in your home state, which is
Hmm.
Maryland,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that if given the opportunity, you would travel for this business, correct?
Yes, we do.
So, what does that look like for another business owner that might travel throughout the country? They want their license or they have their license to carry. Um, we know that gun laws are different in different states.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what approach do they go like what is their approach to ensure that they're still protecting themselves in their business but also abiding by that state's law? What should they do? What does that look like?
So there's a book on Amazon right now for about $10, and it's
Mhm.
called The Firearm Laws to the 50
Mhm.
States, The Traveler's Guide to the Firearm Laws of the 50 States. And
Okay.
with that book, it will definitely give you what the laws are wherever you might be traveling to. For
Mhm.
instance, if I'm traveling from, let's say, Maryland to Georgia, if I have my license to carry in Maryland, we have reciprocity with Georgia and North Carolina, Virginia, but not South Carolina. So while I'm
Mhm.
traveling, I'm in Maryland, I'm good. I know how many bullets I can carry. I'm in Virginia,
Mhm.
I'm good. When I get
Mhm.
to North Carolina, now let me check and make sure, check
Mhm.
the book. I got to come from 20 bullets to 10. Now I have to
Mhm.
do everything I need to do legally as I'm driving
Mhm.
through that state. When I get to
Okay.
South Carolina, I have to stop at the south of the border, take the gun out,
Insert.
lock the slide back,
Mhm.
put it inside of a lockbox, close it up,
Mhm.
drive straight through. Don't make any stops. This is because I know it,
Yeah.
and then we can carry in Georgia. So you can go to Georgia fully, with your gun on your lap if you want to, and you'll be good to
Okay.
go. Now that book will tell you everything you need to know, and
Okay.
then you got to know. And laws change all the time, so you can't
Mhm.
just depend on the book. I had a
Mhm.
cousin who got married not too long ago in Philadelphia. And before I left to go to Pennsylvania, I
Mhm.
called the county sheriff and I asked
Mhm.
him, hey, I have my license to carry in Pennsylvania. How many
Mhm.
bullets can I carry? Because I didn't know if the laws changed or anything like that. I
Mhm.
just wanted to make sure I was covered. He said,
Mhm.
sir, if you have your license to carry in Pennsylvania, bring every gun you got and all of your bullets because we need it. That's exactly what he said to me. I was like, okay,
Mhm.
what am I getting myself into? But at
Yeah.
least I was prepared. I knew I bought a bullets. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
prepared watching my six while I was in the state of Pennsylvania. So
Wow.
I would suggest calling. Yep.
So I have a question. What if
Sure.
so you're speaking on driving. What does
Yeah.
flying look like and can you fly? Like if you even if it's like a layover, how do you switch that if that is something that is possible? Because
Yes.
can you carry your firearm in an airport?
Carrying in the airport, no. So it's going to be the same
Okay.
process. You need to have a biometric lockbox, one with the fingerprints, and also one that has a key. And you're
Okay.
going to take the same gun, empty,
Okay.
no magazine inside of it. Okay.
Okay.
And you're going to
Mhm.
lay it inside of there, and you're going to walk up to the counter like you would normally. You're going to let them know,
Okay.
hey, I'm going to what's called declare. I want to declare my firearm, and I want to put it on the plane. They're going to say, okay, give it to me. You're going to give them the box. They're going to inspect the gun, make sure that there's no magazines, no bullets inside of it, nothing like that. And then they're going to
Mhm.
put a little white receipt on it and tear a piece off of it and give it to you. And
Okay.
that white receipt is going to say this gun is empty. They're going to close it, lock it up, and put it underneath of the plane. When you
Okay.
get to your destination, you have to have that
Mm-hmm.
receipt, because if you don't, they will not give it
That
back
is
to
true.
you. Right?
Okay.
Give them a receipt, and then they're going to say, "Here's your gun," and you're going to walk out of the airport
Mm-hmm.
wherever you need to go, to a restroom or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
strap up and be able to carry wherever you are. So it is a thing. You can do it.
So you actually have to be, and when we think about going to the airports now, right, we're already very just mindful, like even down to not having like lotions and things of that
Yeah,
nature. But
exactly.
I'm guessing that if you're carrying, you have to be, if you, there's like
Ah,
no room for mistakes. Like you have to check more than 3 times to just make sure
you
even your
don't have
bag
no.
doesn't have
Yes,
a bullet, with nothing. Just,
you want it. Yeah, and I've seen people. I had, unfortunately, but one of my students didn't want to listen,
mm,
and he was carrying a gun in the cab and got out,
mm.
took his gun out, took his gun out of his pants, talking about something. Hey, I wanted to declare my gun, and man, the sheriff was on his head so quick. I was like, "What in the world?" So everybody don't listen. Unfortunately, he didn't, and now he's a felon because he brought that gun, and they took his gun, and it's no more. So you have to be very, very careful and make sure you're paying attention to the laws and what we teach, and not just, "Oh, I
Yeah,
got a gun. Let
yeah,
me do what I want to do." There are laws to
yeah.
follow.
So you have to be very proactive
Absolutely.
and forward thinking. Like,
Yep.
I know where I'm going. I know what, even with flights, I know where my layover is. Like, no room for mistakes.
Facts. Yes.
Got you. Got you. Now, what liability do business owners have if they discharge their firearm in their establishment, or in their establishment? So now I'm speaking to maybe business owners that might have storefronts. I know some
Yeah.
people have businesses in their homes.
Yes.
So yeah, again, like what is the what liability do the businesses have if they discharge a firearm
So
in their
hopefully,
business?
most business owners will consider getting firearm insurance. There's
Okay.
no law that says you have to have firearm insurance, but I promise you, if you ever have to use your firearm and you don't have insurance, it's going to be a lot, financially, mentally. You
Mm,
know, it's a lot of things that can happen. Meaning, if someone was to come into my establishment
hmm.
and I didn't have insurance and I didn't have them sign, I'm talking about, let's say a student was to come inside and they brought their guns with them, and they do a lot of times. So what we do is we check those guns.
Hmm.
Let's say they forget to, or I forget rather, to get them to sign the sheet to release the waiver from me, like
Yeah.
give them a waiver release,
Hmm.
and anything that happens is on you because it's negligence on your behalf. If
Hmm.
I forget to do that and a bullet goes off, it's my fault as
Hmm.
being the owner. So with this particular insurance that I have with U.S. Concealed Carry,
Hmm.
they give you a form and they write it out for you. You could just
Hmm.
copy it and paste it,
Hmm.
and you literally cover from the front to the back.
Okay.
Okay, and you
Mm.
get $2 million per aggregate. So if anything happens, you get $2 million to go towards whatever situation might have happened, unfortunately, and you could be charged criminally or civilly. So that's why it's a good thing, or a
Mm.
good business practice, if you decide to go down this road as a business owner, to make sure that you do have firearm insurance.
Now, the firearm insurance, is that like any other insurance that you're paying on monthly, or is this like a one-time payment?
I wish it was a monthly. I wish it was a one time only, but I pay. I have the elite program, which is their
Mm.
highest with U.S. Concealed Carry, and I pay
Hmm.
$47 a month. And I would encourage anyone. There are hundreds, there are scores of businesses that do the
Yeah.
same thing that U.S. Concealed Carry. I'm only speaking on them because that's what I use. NRA
Okay.
has one, which is number one.
Hmm.
USCCA is number two. As far
Hmm.
as NRA, been out forever. I think since
Hmm.
1871, something like that. They've been out forever.
Yeah.
USCCA and NRA are just like this, and
Yeah.
I'm a member of both of them, but I just have my
Okay.
insurance through USCCA.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Can you possibly share a story that will enlighten or encourage business owners to consider, training classes and applying for their license? Again, like I know that for some people, they might not feel comfortable
Yeah,
carrying or comfortable owning a gun, but I'm pretty sure that there are some stories or situations that have occurred that might be like, "Oh, you know what? I think maybe I should do
yeah.
this." Do you know anything or any type of situation where that's happened?
Ironically, I have hundreds of stories that I've heard from different clients, but the
Mhm.
one that's near and dear to me is the one that happened to me maybe
Mm.
3 months ago. I got a phone call from one of my executive clients, and he asked him. He said, "Is can you come pick me and my wife up We just need you to
Mm-hmm.
drive us from one
Mm-hmm.
place to another. I was like,
Okay.
sure. So I get out my bed, and guess what I did? I looked at my gun. He said I don't even have to get out my car. And I don't know why I did this, but I said, do I need my gun? Because all I'm doing is just driving, dropping them off, and picking them up. And I said, yes, you
Mm-hmm.
do. Grabbed my gun,
Mm-hmm.
put it in the car,
Mm-hmm.
went into DC, dropped him and his wife off. He opened the door. They're doing what they're doing. I'm sitting at a light.
Mm-hmm.
Parked. There's a car in front of me. There's a car behind me. Okay. This minivan pulls up at the light and starts looking into my window. And I'm looking through my truck window, looking at them, and they're pointing to my truck. I have tinted windows. They can't see me. My truck is off. So I'm like, oh, that's nobody. Whatever. They drive back around. Now here comes Watcher 6. This is where Watcher 6 come in. Why did
Yeah.
they loop around? So now I'm like, yo, this is like something serious, right?
Uh-huh.
They didn't do anything. So now the third time, I was like, oh, no, 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 no. This is a hit. So I grabbed my gun, right? I literally grabbed my gun. And what he did was, so I'm in the truck. He parked so close to my door that I couldn't open it. So it's a hit. They're coming to kill me. Okay. What they doing was trying to rob, steal my truck. They don't know I'm in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was teenagers. They jump out the car, and one of them grabbed my tailgate and tried to pull it. It wasn't open. The second guy went over to my passenger window. True story. With a gun like this, peeking through the window, but he couldn't see. And then he had a little Jimmy lock trying to Jimmy the lock. Now I'm sitting here like heart rate racing, like do. And I'm like, oh my stars, I'm about to take someone's life. So I'm like, think. So this is why I say you have to train like you fight and fight like no
Yeah.
one's coming to save you, because I couldn't escape. There was a car in front of me. There's a car behind me. The
Yeah.
dude with the gun on the side of me and a van blocking me in. I couldn't get out. So what did I do? I pointed my gun. I'm not going to point it at the screen, but I pointed my gun right to the passenger's window just like this and rolled down the window. I had the gun pointed right at his head. He was like, oh my God. And he took off. He ran and he jumped in the van and drove off. I sat there for about 10 minutes because I'm telling you, my heart rate was like going. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I was about to shoot. Like I got all these type of thoughts going on in my head. And then I
Yeah.
thought to myself, what if I didn't have my
Mm.
firearm? I probably wouldn't be here today
Wow.
because they would have shot me. Trust me, they would have shot and killed me if I didn't have my firearm. It's no second question it. Even if I didn't have my gun, I put my hands up, say, hey, y'all guys take whatever you want to. They would have killed me.
Wow.
So that's a personal story that I tell my students, because now I've been teaching it, but now that I've been in it, it's a
It's
totally different story.
different.
It's
It's
yes,
different. So I'm imagining
yes,
like when you're teaching these classes, and of course it's like easy to probably say these are the things that you should do. But it's
yeah,
like when you're in the situation, it's like, bro, this actually really does happen. I've been saying it this whole time, but like this is like a real thing.
literally the case. Yes,
And the reality of it is that even in business or not, that could have happened to anybody. And I'm guessing that there are more people that don't carry than people that do.
there are definitely
And
more people that don't carry than people that do, and it would be places like Tennessee, Alabama, Utah, Texas, Phoenix. The crime rate is so low because the people that carry outweigh the people
yeah,
that don't.
yeah,
And that's why the crime rates are so low. That doesn't mean that, hey, I think you're going to do something to me, let me shoot you.
yeah,
It's just protecting yourself. It just makes the bad people feel
yeah,
like, I don't know if I should rob this person because everybody has a gun and they can use that on me.
yeah,
They
yeah.
try to come after people who they seem to be weak.
So, like in that situation, right now,
Yeah.
you're trained, you're a professional,
Mm-hmm.
clearly you're ready, right? But
Yeah.
even you experienced anxiety in that moment. What do you do? Like, what should a person do in that moment? Like, your first thought is what the heck is happening? Like, so like how did you in that moment kind of decompress yourself to be able to like, hey, I gotta do X, Y, and Z? Like how did I'm gonna be honest, someone like me, I'd have been, you know.
Yeah,
So like
exactly. And that's what you can't do. That's what you can't do. I had to think about the fact that one, tactically, I had the advantage because they didn't know I was in the truck,
got you.
right? I had an advantage. So I used my
Mhm.
advantage to already have the gun ready, present the window going down, and I can attack.
Jesus.
To be honest, when it first began to happen, you know how people say your life flashed before your eyes? I really thought,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shoot this guy because I had the right to. I'm going to shoot this guy
Yes.
with this 40 caliber bullet right in the middle of his head. I'm going to be on the news.
Jesus.
Is his family going to retaliate? Um, am I going to lose my job? Am I going to lose my license? Am I going to get locked
Yeah.
up? Who's going to
Yeah.
bail me out? All these thoughts get to happening, and you have to be able to, in that moment, suppress the thought of, oh my God, because I had it. When
Yeah.
I saw that gun up to the window on my glass like this, I was like, and it was like, calm down. I always tell my students to calm down, get over it, and be prepared for action. So I just like cut it off and get ready. Whatever's going to happen, all I know is I'm going home to my wife for 30 years and to my children. That's all I knew. It's about to be on. And thank God that he didn't raise that gun, because when I rolled down the window, his gun was pointed down. But had he raised it, I'd have shot him because I have the right to.
Because you have the right to, and your safety in that moment is
Yeah.
the most important thing. Honestly, it's like it's crazy because it's like I ain't thinking about me taking your life. I'm thinking about me preserving mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because technically, that's and again, for someone like me, I'm not saying that I'm like a scary person, but I'm always like I have so many thoughts that just go through my mind in general, and
Yes.
I don't have all of the knowledge that, of course, you have, right? So even that moment, even if I had something, I feel like I'd have fumbled it, I'd have dropped it, I'd have. And and in those situations, like sometimes people, their first thing to do is, I'm gonna call the police. You know what I'm saying? You don't really
Mm-hmm.
have the time to do that.
Mm-mm.
You really have to be on it and very sharp thinking and being able to kind of calm that emotion in that moment when it technically is like,
Yes.
that's really
Fights
scary.
happen. Fights happen between 0 and 5 seconds. That's it.
Wow.
Like if someone's walking up to you with a knife, you got seconds to take that gun out and address that threat. Okay. 0 to 5 seconds, either somebody shot, someone's shooting, someone's
Mm-hmm.
dead, someone's
Mm-hmm.
bleeding, someone's hiding, we don't know. But it's
Yeah.
not a lot of time.
Yeah.
And for those who, I don't want a gun, get yourself something that you feel
Yeah.
comfortable with, whether it's a stun gun, a taser, chemical spray, knife, anything legal. And all those are legal in the
Okay.
state of Maryland, just so you know.
Okay.
But do you know how to use it? We can
Yeah.
teach you that too, Yeah,
That's a whole
yeah,
nother thing.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thankful that like one, you're trained because not everyone who enters that type of situation, and it happens more often than we
Yeah,
actually really are aware of. You're
indeed.
trained, you were prepared. I'm glad that when you thought to yourself, like, should I take my gun? It's like, yeah, like you knew like
Oh
this,
man.
even if I'm going 5 feet down the street, I'm still gonna take my gun with me so that I
Yep.
can protect myself, because the reality of it is we don't know what other people are thinking about in their heads, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Exactly.
if someone is interested, and we're talking to business owners, whatever the case
Hmm.
may be, even people who are not business owners, if someone is interested in carrying a firearm in order to protect themselves, how do they go about that process?
So if you want to have a firearm to protect yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you can get in contact with myself, with
Okay.
us. It's a myriad of us instructors that all kind of come together. So no matter what state you want to get your license in, you will be
Okay.
able to get your license. If you want to or considering following me
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, you can follow me at contact. That's CON period TACT_. That's
Okay.
contact. And then if you want to go to our website and check us out, you can go on www.con as in Nancy. Then it's the dash tactical TACTICAL.com.
Okay.
Or you can reach us at 301-442-1705. And if we don't answer, I promise you, we will contact you within 24 hours.
Okay.
We're here to
N-
help.
Now, before we end this, right,
Sure.
can you again just tell us what services you provide with Tactical? Like what services? We know that we do the gun safety, but
Okay.
what other services do you provide?
So we do gun safety. We do home defense. We do
Mhm.
self defense. We
Wow.
actually train children, meaning now this is, I promise you, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. We
Wow.
start with children as young as 5 years old. If
Wow.
if the parents feel safe, and we always start off with a fake firearm. We let them hear, of course, with headphones on, what firearms sound like,
Mhm.
because you never know. What do I mean by
Never
that?
know.
Your firearm that's in your house not only protects you, but it protects everyone in your house. So let's
Mm-hmm.
say you have your HQL, which stands for Handgun Qualification License.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first license you need in the state of Maryland to purchase a firearm. Okay, so with your HQL, you can only keep the gun in the house. Now, let's say you leave out the house. Someone kicks in your door trying to rob your family. Your 13-year-old, if they feel safe and you feel safe, can pick up that firearm and stop that threat, and they will not be in trouble. Your grandfather, your grandmother, your auntie, your uncle, niece, nephew, anybody, that gun covers anybody in that house legally. Okay, so yes, we train children. What else we do? We'll come to your business.
Mm.
We'll come to your business. We do that, and we do active shooter scenarios, and we teach
Wow.
run, hide, and fight. Listen, we come to your house. I can show you video of us going to different clients' houses and asking them, what would you do if someone broke into your house right now?
Mm-hmm.
And they'd be like, oh, I do this, blah, blah, blah. And then what I do is I have my children or some of my employees, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
just jump out of nowhere with these fake guns. And now it's like, everybody's screaming. So you just said you know what to do. But now, because we caught you off guard, now you're screaming. We get over that, and then we begin to come up with a plan that's perfect for your house. This is
Wow.
where you should go. This is where you should put this firearm. Lock the firearm up here. Use the fingerprint scanner here. Take this position down the steps. Take advantage of them before they come up. We do all of that, and we're just here, and we're here for your safety. That's literally our mantra: safety, safety, safety. Train like you fight, and train and fight like no one's coming to
It's
save you.
gonna
Remember
save you.
those things. Train like no one's coming. Train
Yeah.
like no one's coming. Yeah.
Wow. The fact that you train kids is that's pretty intense.
Yes.
Because some people don't even trust themselves.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
part,
like
right?
training a kid. I've never heard of that either. And I think that that's actually really good because again, we just never know what might happen. And anybody in that home can honestly save us. So it's good that you actually do that. And I think that it also brings awareness to kids of what not to be afraid of. Because,
Exactly.
oh, matter of fact, if you don't mind, I just want to touch on something else that is
Sure.
very important. Now, we know that there are a lot of things happening in our country in terms
Mm,
of weapons, mass shootings,
yeah.
and that's making people kind of turn away from gun safety in terms of who should be able to have a gun, gun laws, and things of that nature, right?
Yep.
How does that affect you, or how does that honestly make someone like you that actually knows the importance of it feel about it all?
It's a thorn in my flesh. It gives me angst. Like I have this angst about it, and the reason why is the bad guys that have the guns are the reason why all this bad stuff is happening. And
Mm,
we, the good guys who don't have no desire to take no one's life, I do not walk out the door with my firearm every day and say, I wish somebody would try me. Damn, that's not me. That's
yeah,
not in me. All I want to do is
yeah,
protect myself. It's the bad guy. People who have mental issues,
yeah.
vendettas, whatever the case may be. They go out and do all this mass shooting, and then we, the
Hmm.
legal gun owners, get blamed for what they did, and they want to take the guns out of our hand.
Yeah,
Imagine a world where we, the good people, can't have firearms, but the
yeah,
bad people can, and we're just sitting ducks. And so that's
yeah,
why I have a problem with it. I do understand, and actually agree with there needs to be some type of reform, maybe deeper
yeah.
background checks, maybe I don't know, I don't know. But we
Hmm.
can't never, you know how people come to a job and they give you the best interview in the world, and you're like, oh, this is the candidate, and they end up being
Yeah,
a living. You know what?
yeah,
You could put on a front for anybody. You know
yeah.
what I
That's
mean? So
true.
it's hard to tell what's going on with
Yeah,
people. But please don't take the guns from us. We don't want to hurt anybody. We just want to protect ourselves at the
yeah.
end of the day. Yep.
Well, Israel, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. First and foremost, I
My
want to thank
pleasure.
you for just taking the time out of your day to speak with us here at Vendmae, but then also offering that information to our viewers, these up and coming entrepreneurs, seasoned
Yeah.
entrepreneurs, and even people who just are thinking about gun safety in general. This is very important information. The world isn't as safe of a place as we would wish it to
I
be. So I
know.
think
I know.
providing that knowledge and enlightening us and encouraging us to just safety, safety, safety,
Yep.
always watch your six,
Yep.
and fight like nobody's coming to protect you.
Train
I
like
think
you
it's
fight. Yeah.
yeah, train
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
fight.
You
I
got three
think
out of
that
four.
I did. Okay. A plus. Oh, A minus. But no, I think all of that is very important information because there's somebody who's watching this that didn't know any of it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of green people out here too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um,
It is.
I'm turning from green. I learned a little something. I'm not as green anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
but
Duly
we thank
noted.
you so much for spending time with us here today, and hopefully in the future we're able to speak to you again. We're going to make
Absolutely.
sure that, of course, contact information is in this video, and we're anticipating that there are some viewers that are going to be getting in contact with you. So we're excited about
I
that.
am too. Thank you so much for
And
having me.
thank you. Thank you. And before we go, I just want to promote this. Okay. If you're not
Sure.
following Vendmae, please follow us on Instagram. Okay. Facebook. And of course, hitting that like and subscribe here on YouTube. Other than that, you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. May you and your family be blessed. And we'll talk soon.